on tour than Amy Yang's?
Between her and Inji Chun, the two of them are pretty special when it comes to tempo. Lydia's not too bad herself.
I'll say, and Kay Cockrell is out watching the Hall of Fame member Lydia.
Always a treat to watch Lydia and this group in general. That was an 8-iron. Oh, it was looking good for a while, but still that hit and release with these firm greens. And right now that wind is not blowing.
The only thing maybe that's not are some of the aprons as they're sloped back towards the fairway and towards the tees. But once you land on the putting surface, it's been exceptionally firm, especially downwind.
Lydia Co, just a couple of events ago, got her 23rd LPGA title. Happened in Singapore, pulled away in the final round to win it.
Grant, that was a huge moment for her. She played in the HSBC for many years, loved that tournament, has a lot of fans there. And for her, it's Asia's major, so she said it felt like another major on her mantle.
She just seems like she's in a really good place, Kay. Very calm. I mean, think about the year that she had last year. It's just making the game look really easy.
LPGA Tour, 3 years ago in Thailand. To the 11th, and Lydia Co.
Had to wait and rely on the marshal's signal that the group ahead was cleared out of the way, as you cannot see the landing area on this fairway. This whole dogleg's a little right to left. The aiming point is over the mesquite trees on the left. Wind has ratcheted up a bit. It's a good club and a half wind right now helping.
It's kind of a bit of an awkward tee shot, especially for Lydia, who moves the ball left to right, Kay.
Definitely, and once the ball hits the fairway tilts quite a bit from left to right.
Cut.
Run the tables pretty much here on out.
Beautiful look at the 11th, and Lydia Co.
Trying to dial in a lob wedge as best she can.
Nobody does it better, Kay, than Lydia. It's something special to watch.
So many amazing half point to get the Solheim Cup back for the United States. Lydia Co for birdie at the 11th.
Running Yin missed her birdie putt, tapped in for par. Two really good opportunities for birdie here. First from Lydia. This putt will want to move down to the left just a little bit. How much depends on how firmly she decides to hit this.
So after a steady start, a couple of birdies for Lydia in the last 5, and she moves to 6 under. On the tee at the par 5 12th, Lydia Co.
All three players birdied this hole yesterday, as did the bulk of the field. Ideal tee shot is down towards the 3 bunkers on the left-hand side.
Already been 4 eagles today on this hole.
Thought it might come back. It's going to be a ticklish one. Second shot at 12 for Lydia.
Well, she's brought out the driver. Go and drive her off the deck. Not getting much height to it, but a lot of overspin.
There's that bunker quite a bit short. I think she might have ended up in that bunker there.
We're at the par 5 12th, third shot for Lydia Co.
Not an enviable shot, 90 yards from the fairway bunker, pretty big lip. Well, she ensured getting over the lip, but not going to have enough to get there.
Just a mistake there on the second. Aggressive play, driver off the deck, not going to get very much height on it, but I believe you're able to even leave it short.
Fourth shot for Lydia Co at 12.
Somewhat similar chip that Charlie just had. She was a little bit closer and That was not a good effort by Lydia Co's standards, one of the best short game players ever to play.
Lydia Co for par at 12.
Big putt right here. To watch both her and Roning on this hole walk away without a birdie, let alone be over par on this very scoreable par 5. It's a mistake that you don't see very often. Shows that she's human. Twirl off the recoil.
Everything she does is quick tempoed. Well, that was a mistake by Lydia. You don't get into the Hall of Fame without having the capability of having extra patience and being able to just forget about the mistakes and move on to the next. We'll see how she recovers.
It's a hard golf course when you're behind and you feel like you're just getting lapped, not making enough birdies. It's hard to catch back up at that whatsoever. A bit extra conservative.
And out watching the Hall of Fame member Lydia Co is Kay Cockrell. Hi, Kay.
Grant, great to be out here. Lydia chipping, coming off a bogey on the last hole, trying to turn things around, and it looks like she's going to save par here.
Playing with Rana Yen and Charlie.
Penalty area, and it creeps in down the left, but Lydia going with driver, Kay.
I really don't like this choice. It's not about how far you hit it on this hole. It's avoiding the bunkers on the right that are tough to carry into the wind. It's 260 to the lake on the left. She's just really minimizing her potential landing area using this club.
Wanting to start something towards the water and get it to fall right.
Well, she started over the bunkers with a cut. And I can't tell from here if she carried the bunkers or not.
It doesn't appear as if she's
got a little bit of the sniffles going. Some of the players battling allergies this week. Here's Lydia.
Yeah, this is a 9-iron just to ensure getting over the lip. No way that she's going to be able to get it there. Not a good place to be.
Yeah, just mistake off the tee there. Not really anything you could be too aggressive with, being up against that lip. Job number 1 to get it out. I mean, this is playing as the second hardest hole today. I mean, that was a sensational approach there from Charlie Hall.
Tomorrow we'll see what happens with Lilia Vu, who's got just that short putt to stay at 13 under. Here's Lydia's third at the par 4 14th. Needs to be careful here not to slip too far. Cut line at the moment is minus. And back up to the green, and the par putt for Lydia Co.
And this is a healthy 15-footer that she's going to try to make to avoid making her second bogey in a 3-hole stretch.
We're looking at this graphic, Kay. Most wins since 2012. Remember, Lydia won as an amateur. A month after she won the US Am, she won in Canada. Won again in Canada the next year as an amateur. And so since 2012, the most wins, even more than the great Inby Park.
Setting a pretty good foundation for her Hall of Fame career.
That comes in handy.
Such a good view there of the way her putter went straight back, straight through, ball rolled end over end, exactly on the line she was looking. Perfect speed.
Is up for grabs for the first ace made tomorrow or Sunday for the player and for a lucky fan. How about that? Here's Lydia at 15.
Also going with the pitching wedge, and will hit this much firmer than Charlie Hall did, and even with that, just barely gets it over the front fringe. This is kind of a
the speed, everything about it is just spot on with Lilia this week.
From Lilia to Lydia, 15.
Yeah, it looked like she thought that would move right to left, and it just kind of hung out to the right.
Hit it, what, about 335?
Yeah, that's crazy. What a shot.
Good. Here's Lydia.
Okay, I would tell Lydia, don't try to keep up with Charlie. She has actually teed this ball a little bit lower. This is her controlled sort of left to right powered fade. Set up.
Yeah.
Took a huge bounce as well. Not quite going to get all the way up to Charlie.
At this par 4. Here's Lydia.
Yeah, and listen, see if you can listen in, but I don't think this is the easiest shot. You're coming off a tight lie. The green's kind of elevated. She's got to lay this lob wedge wide open. She's making a 60-degree wedge into a 64, 65-degree.
Well, if anybody can do it, Kay, I'd give it to...
Oh, yeah. That's it, Morgan. Look at this shot.
She threw that right hand underneath the ball, essentially, to slide that club right through the grass, get as much height as possible. Don't try that at home, folks. That was the most pressure she's probably ever felt up against Lydia Co.
Here is Lydia for birdie.
And this is going to be just for her second birdie on this back 9. It'll help give her more of a cushion, get her to 6 under for the tournament. That little move down with her left hand to level out her shoulders at address.
Really loads into her left leg as well. So steady with her lower body.
Huge year last year, already a win early this season. And a nice birdie at 16 for Lydia.
Same putting that we saw from Charlie.
And that's the nature of this crazy game that all of us know and love, and for those that make it their livelihood, it can be very frustrating because the variables change day in and day out, and what these players work on is just preparing the best they can and making your process as consistent as possible.
Yeah.
A beauty.
Just all about getting it in position, just about the entire.
It tilts a little bit from right to left, so the ball just a tad above Lydia's feet. 196 to the front, 212 to the hole. Wind mostly left to right, not really helping. Should be able to launch this one pretty high with that hybrid.
This is the type of lie you want into this green here. Beautiful line of that shot.
Lydia was flirting with the cut line a few minutes ago. Then a birdie, and now that putt for eagle here at the par 5 17th, day 2 of the Ford Championship. Ada, who won at the end of last year in Japan, wasn't a member at the time. Now she's a member and has her second win. Lydia, 2 great shots to this point. This for eagle.
Yeah, this putt just outside of 20 feet to vault her from 6 under to 8 under. Pretty level. How about those 3 shots?
And suddenly, Lydia has moved into a tie for 13th.
And just, I mean, look at that. Absolutely no emotion there from her. Just ho-hum. This is not what you're supposed to do.
Well,
Beautiful rhythm to that stroke. Dead center.
I guess, Morgan, when you've won as much as Lydia has and hit so many great shots, well, it's just another one in the vast pool of great moments.
she's played par 5s great through her career. She's never been one of the longest players, but when you can chip and 64. Roddy moves to 5 under, and Lydia Co. One more look at her Eagle 3, moving her way perhaps into contention. And so that will be to join the group at 10 under. Back on the tee, Lydia Co.
Nothing better than having the honor on the final hole of the day after making an eagle at the previous hole. 245 yards to carry the bunkers on the left. And that's the target for most of these players.
Extra spin, but that just landed like a rock.
Well, as you mentioned it, this shot of Lydia's now is going to be very difficult from the right-hand rough. Really hitting downwind. She has to carry the bunker, but once it hits the green kind of slopes away.
And out of just the faintest bit of rough as well, so even tougher to get the spin, Kay. How about that?
Yeah, she made that look far easier than it was.
One shot clear of the cut line. She's got this for birdie to move into the top 10.
And this for a flourish of a finish. If she makes this, she'll finish birdie, eagle, birdie. This putt will move a little from her right to left. Slightly downhill.
Just never ever gives up. Needs to tighten up her ball striking a little bit tomorrow. Only hit 11 greens today.
But there she is in the top 10.
Alongside Lydia Co, who shot a nice 67 today. You were kind of treading water there for a little bit, bogeyed 12, and then had a fantastic finish. What changed to allow yourself to finish so well?
You know, I just gave myself a lot of good looks for birdies. You know, just with how firm the course is, I was kind of scratching my head on the 11th thinking, why does it feel like I had a poor ball striking day, which I didn't, but just with how firm the greens are, you know, sometimes it's, you know, pretty hard to get really close to the pins. And, you know, I think the thing I did really well today was just stay patient. And that's what Paul said to me as we were walking down 18. He said, I'm proud of you for staying patient today. And I think that's going to be the key over the weekend too. You know, the course is probably only going to get firmer, so you know it's going to leave me in some iffy positions, but I just got to, you know, keep my head high and just kind of hit it one shot at a time. And I think that's what kind of led to the good finish today.
We all know when you come to the desert, it's usually low golf, a lot of going deep under par. How do you maintain an aggressive attitude yet not try to press too hard? Where's that balance?
I think Charlie kind of hit the nail on the head yesterday with that. I personally didn't have a 9 under in my bag, but you know how she played, she just hit a lot of quality good shots, and then she held a few mid-range putts, and I think those are the ones that kind of take that momentum one step further. But yeah, it's hard because you're left with 20-yard pitch shots maybe for an eagle, and you could have a 30-footer coming back, so you do have to work and balance it out. But when you do have the opportunity to try and grab it, and the course is in really good shape, so I feel like when you're in a certain proximity to the hole, you've got good chances of holding it, as long as you have somewhat a good idea of what the read is doing.
Speaking of momentum, you had a win a few weeks ago at HSBC. That was a tournament very dear to your heart. It's Asia's major. You said you're going to add it to your major collection so far. What did that do for you as far as momentum goes and sort of setting up your year?
Yeah, last year was, I don't know, I could call it a miracle year, story tell. And when you have a year like that, you kind of wonder what the year after is going to be like. And I felt like winning in Cincinnati actually in September was proof that it wasn't fluke. And I finished the season off really strong, but every new season that comes, it's a whole new chapter. And I've had some great seasons and backed it up with very mediocre seasons as well. So to kind of have a win under my belt, I think gives me a little bit more freedom. But I feel like I'm in a position right now where I can just focus on my game and continue working on the things that I've been working on with my coaches and just be free out there. And obviously that's a great place to be, I guess as a mindset, really outside of the technical things. So yeah, it's I think playing with freedom, this amount of freedom, is actually the first time, and that way I think I am trying new things when things aren't going well, and it has worked to my favor till now. But it's a continuous grind, and I'm playing alongside the best female golfers, so it's not easy, but I'm enjoying it, and I'm excited to kind of enjoy tour life more, for the rest of the season, really.
I love it. The grind never ends. Golf is always more enjoyable when you're winning or you're up near the lead. Grant, back to you.
Well, what a joy